I'm David Glass, the mayor of Petaluma, and it is indeed nice to be here.
Okay, now here we are in Petaluma. That's why I'm loved to be mayor of Petaluma. This is the greatest town in America, and every month the town proves it. And with me is John Crowley from the Aqus, and we're here at the Aqus, and let's talk about the calendar that's coming up for Petaluma.
Yeah, we've got a couple of fun events coming up. We've got the, of course, the big one coming up is the Malhatter Ball. You've been to that? I think I've seen you there a couple of times.
I have, but this year I'm going to be out of town, so I'm not going to make it.
Okay, well, that's a great event. It's the Petaluma Mentor Me program.
Yes, it is.
That on, and it's a great event. It's their main fundraising event for the year. It's on the it's on March, the end of March, 31st of March, over at the Boys and Girls Club. That they absolutely transformed. When you're inside, you wouldn't know where you were. You're certainly not on a basketball court. It's blacking out the whole walls of it.
Makes you feel right at home. You mean you walk in there and you get completely lost. You got no idea which way.
Absolutely, exactly.
Perfect, just like my hometown.
It's a great event. Anyway, you can go to petalumentorme.org or .com and get tickets there. A couple of other events we've got going on. We have the Aqus Community Non-Profit Mixer, which is we're holding it this year in the Dolce Vita Wine Bar down at the Theatre Square. And what we're doing there, facilitating people who are interested in non-profits, on the board or non-profit executive directors, or you just want to find out about it, come and visit us there at the Dolce Vita Wine Bar, and that's at 5:30 to 7:30 on, what is that? That's March 28th, it's a Wednesday. Other fun things, we've always got movies here. The next movie is April 18th. Pipe Dreams, it's about the Keystone Pipeline. What else have we got coming up? The Butter and Eggs Day.
Oh, I love the butter and eggs.
Yeah, I really like that day.
I like the butter more than the eggs. No, I shouldn't say that.
No, you shouldn't. This is Petaluma. Be careful.
I love the eggs. My wife won't let me have butter, see? You know, pancakes are no fun without butter.
How are you supposed to have pancakes without butter?
You're not supposed to do that. I go, look, Bobby, there goes the plane.
Butter and Eggs Day is on April 28th.
I think it's 28th,
isn't it? 28th,
yeah.
it's Saturday, and then we've got the Antiques Fair the day after.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a fair for me. An antique.
Okay. But I wanted to remind everybody we've got the fundraising buttons for the Butter and Eggs Day on sale at Aqus Cafe as of, I believe, this Friday.
Okay, so how much are the buttons?
They're $5 each, and they all the funds benefits goes.
They start this Friday?
They start this Friday.
Okay.
I see you getting your water.
I do.
Absolutely wonderful. Okay.
I will.
Okay, you got it. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
One other thing that I want to make everybody aware of: the IONS, the Institute of Noetic Sciences, and Aqus Community are teamed up, and we're continuing on with our lecture series. And this March 20th, it's a Tuesday, we've got Cassie Beethan. She's one of the senior researchers at the Institute. She's going to be giving a lecture on how we change and why we don't. Science of transformation. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
People have told me I need to change for years.
Okay.
It's every Thursday in the Argus, you know, I need to change.
Okay. A couple of interesting things. We started.
I'm going to tell you in a little while why I don't.
Why you don't change all those certain things?
No, I don't change. That's what people hate about politicians. They get elected and then change.
Do they?
Yeah.
I guess.
People hate that.
One of the things I want to make sure everybody knows about is our language groups. We've started a Hungarian language group was the last one we started, and suddenly we had a group of 5 Hungarian people sitting around a table that all lived in Petaluma. They hadn't met each other.
And they all speak Hungarian?
And they all speak Hungarian. We've got...
Maybe come to City Hall of Public Comment, maybe I could figure out what they're saying. If people that speak in a foreign language, maybe I could follow it closer. What do you think?
We can try it.
They could explain the financing to Rainier in Hungarian, and then even the Argus would get it.
Yeah, that's what we've got: Mandarin, Italian, Irish, Arabic, and German. So if you speak any of those languages, come on down. And
what about profanity? I know Eugenics was big a while ago.
We should have an evening of profanity.
I think so.
Where you have to, well...
How many 4-letter words can you string together in a row?
Well, if you've been to Ireland, a lot of the sentences have 4-letter words in them. They're not grammatically correct unless you've got a 4-letter word.
Is that right? In Ireland?
It's...
I might have to go
back there and you kind of get used to, you'll have to get used to the use of profanity there.
I think I can get used to that. You know, I remember when the city council meetings before I was mayor the first time used to use profanity regularly.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Pleasant.
And, you know, I mean, if you watch those old council meetings and see what they're talking about, after a while, you understand it.
Can you?
Those are the words that are most descriptive.
This
This is actually their program today.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I see I'm loaded up with painkillers from that. I don't know whether it would have been worse with a root canal or if it's just the temporary cap that they put on.
Does it still hurt?
Oh, no, I don't feel any pain. I've had a couple of glasses of wine, you know, and I'm going to have a couple of more during this thing. No, I'm not hurting at all.
Are you hurting? No, I'm not hurting at all. I'm fine. I haven't been to the dentist in years. That's maybe the highlights. Of course, we've got music and comedy and bluegrass and
I'm all in favor of comedy.
everything. Yes.
It happens the first and third Mondays of every night at 7 o'clock at the City Hall. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, I'm sure you've got a couple things to say. So this week this month we're going to be talking about retail development.
We are going to talk about retail development, I think. You know, I was going to do that before I got all numbed up.
Okay.
You know, people think I'm numb when they come to the City Hall, but tonight I am really numb. So we'll see. I think we will get into retail development. We're going to get into some really boring stuff here before too long, so don't go away because we're going to bore you to death and then you'll be able to get to sleep, I promise.
Okay. I just want to leave you a couple of comments that I have. They're starting the Target.
Yeah, they are.
But it's kind of, it seems to be, we've ended up with a fairly kind of run-of-the-mill boring Target.
No, we haven't. Right now, all they're doing is breaking ground, John. You got to be patient. I remember when they built the wall on the movie theater, and it was pink, and it looked awful before they put all the decorations. And I was getting bombarded with complaints saying, you know, what idiot approved that? And the town was clamoring for a movie theater, and they thought that it was going to look really awful. Well, how does a movie theater look to you?
From the front, it looks great.
The Target won't look that good. But
Okay.
Anyway, no, it's going to look better than you think it is.
What is, I mean, I think that's maybe a misconception. I'm not sure. A lot of people think it's going to be just a run-of-the-mill.
No, it won't be. It won't be run-of-the-mill. Nothing we do in Petaluma is run-of-the-mill. We run people through the mill, not run-of-the-mill.
And then, what's the new thing? They're going to build a Friedman's?
Friedman's.
I was traveling.
It's like who's on first.
Exactly.
Friedman's at Deer Creek. What's on second? I don't know. Third base.
Deer Creek. Are they going to have deer there?
When you pay the politician, who gets the money?
Well,
Every penny of it. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it. Who does? Yes.
So what's happening with that? Is that the Deer Creek thing?
Deer Creek. That's Friedman's.
Okay, that's Friedman's.
Yeah.
Is that going to be anything exciting to look at?
It'll be very exciting. You know, excitement isn't always good.
Okay.
You know, but it's going to be exciting. What has to happen actually is that people are confused, and we're going to get into that more, because what is happening right now is a legal process of reviewing an environmental impact report that identifies the impacts that a project creates to a community. And, you know, the Argus Courier has a cartoonist that was actually disqualified from working for them for a while because he violated the New York Times ethical policies. The only thing that surprised me about that is they had any ethical policies to violate. But anyway, he's back, and so he's publishing his cartoons. And the interesting thing is that the Deer Creek project, it's not about project approval right now. It's about identifying what the project even is, so you can adequately, and under the law this is a requirement, and I really am in favor of following the law myself, is that you identify the impacts so you can put them on a scale and you can weigh the impacts of the project, which mostly are traffic related. And somehow they did this cartoon and they said, you know, they used the terms that I was concerned about greenhouse gas emissions. Well, that reminds me so much of Marshall McLuhan and massaging the message to the point that you achieve some other outcome coming out the end and trying to get people to come to conclusions that aren't real. I'm not concerned at all about greenhouse gas emissions.
You're not?
No. What I'm concerned about is what causes greenhouse gas emissions, and that's traffic up the yin-yang. And so that's what I've been talking about, is traffic. Now, there are 15 different intersections that are impacted to the point that you cannot, no matter what you do, even with the Rainier Crosstown Connector and the Rainier Freeway Interchange, you cannot mitigate the traffic endpoints to an acceptable level under the eyes of the law. And so what you need to do is you need to say exactly what the impacts are going to be. And then once you've identified what those impacts are, you get a scale. And that scale says, here's the community benefit, and here are the impacts. And so you got these 15 intersections that are traffic, traffic, traffic. And it's all traffic, which creates greenhouse gas emissions. Now the cartoonist, if he wanted to be accurate accurate with his cartoon. He would have bumper-to-bumper traffic with smoke coming out of tailpipes everywhere. I'm not even an artist, but I can come up with this visually in my mind, and I can paint a verbal picture for you. And so what you got is you've got traffic up the yin-yang, okay, at 15 different intersections, and you've got to identify all of this traffic that is accumulating and that time that is going to be spent waiting in this traffic. And then you got the hospital right there. Remember I was talking about the overpass and nobody in my hometown can get anywhere? Well, see, this is the potential of what's being created right here in Rivertown. We got big trouble right here in River City. Okay? So we got all this traffic at these 15 different intersections, and we got to quantify the amount of traffic that we have. And yes, they do create greenhouse gas emissions and noise also, because traffic is very noisy. Honk, honk, boom, boom, hey, Matt, get out of my way. You know, so you got all this traffic, you got all this noise, and so, you know, and you got it to a point that you cannot possibly even mitigate it. Okay? So now...
we've got questions from the audience.
Well, we'll get to their questions, okay? So now, I'm on a roll, and I'm also...
You are, yeah.
I'm 3 sheets to the wind because I've been to the dentist, okay? So now you've got all of this traffic.
What did he give you?
You got all this traffic, all right? So you got this problem with the traffic. You got cars, so you got them bumper to bumper. So you got to identify how long are you going to wait in this traffic jam. Then you got to figure out, is that worth it? Is it worth it to sit in this traffic jam to derive the benefits out of this proposed project? Or is there some other project that gives you maybe less of the traffic jam? And, oh, what happens if it gave you even more benefit? Gee, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? And that's what the document does. The Environmental Impact Report identifies several different proposals that says, you do this, you get this much impact in your community. And how much benefit do you get? And if you do something else, you get less benefit, less traffic. Do you get an equal amount of benefit? Do you get a marginally, proportionally less amount of benefit? Or do you get even greater benefit with less impact? That's what's going on, and we need to identify that, quantify it, analyze it, and do it on a night when we haven't been to the dentist, so we're thinking clearly, and do it on a night when we haven't had, this is delicious wine. This really is. This is really a delicious wine.
Which one is it? Peanut?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
It's
it's
red.
$7.
Okay, good.
Which one is that?
Goes with the dentist.
Is that good? The $7 wine is good. Okay. So, anyway, that's kind of the thing, is that we're in a legal process right now with the Deer Creek, and it isn't, I want the community to know, it isn't the greenhouse gas emissions that I'm worried about. That's like the doctor told me, well, you know, you need to lose weight. Well, I'm not worried about my weight. And he says, but you're going to have a heart attack if you don't lose weight. And, well, I'm worried about a heart attack, but I'm not worried about my weight because I like to eat. I'm not worried about greenhouse gas emissions. But I am worried about what causes the greenhouse gas emissions, and that's traffic. And you should be worried about what causes the greenhouse gas emissions too, and that is traffic. And it's traffic at 15 different intersections that, even with the Rainier interchange and the Rainier Crosstown connector, they don't adequately mitigate those traffic impacts. They get worse and worse and worse. And so your quality of life is going to degrade, and that's maybe okay. So the question is, does your quality of life degrade more than the benefit that the project itself delivers? And that's a question, there's a legal one, and has to be weighed, analyzed, answered, and answered. And it requires more than just 4 convenient votes that say, I'm good to go with it. You actually have substantial evidence in the record that needs to be identified, quantified, and part of the record as to the voting process as to why you would do something that under California Environmental Quality Act creates impacts that cannot be mitigated, that means remedied, to a level of less than significant. And significant is something that means your quality of life, by definition, is degrading.
Any cycle pots?
Any what?
Cycle pots?
Any cycle potholes?
Pots. For cycling on.
Oh, psychopaths. I thought you said psychopaths. Sure, it's the mayor. You know? Not really a psychopath. I was thinking, oh boy, this isn't making any sense at all. So, you know, yeah, there's going to be some psychopaths. The way the thing is designed, and there's going to be probably some psychopaths too. You know, so it's an all-inclusive project. The way this thing is designed is there's something there that has merit. The question is how much merit and how much merit do you derive? Yeah.